You know as well as I that as far as Random Insanity goes, it's been a long time. I haven't posted a video in ages, and there's a very good reason for that, but we're going to get to that in a little while, so don't you worry. For now, I thought it would be fun to just go back and look at all the old ROBLOX Random Insanity videos and give you my personal input and feedback and all that kind of thing, talking about some of the things that went into making them, what I think about them now, and how poorly some of it has aged. Let's begin. How did this video get 1.3 million views again, exactly? I mean, sure, I could laugh at it, but it's more cringe than anything else at this point. I love how you can see in the top left corner me giving the countdown and telling them what to do when the countdown starts, or ends, or whatever. And that was a time when Discord wasn't a thing, so of course you're gonna see some amateur shit like that instead of staging it out in Xfire or something or another. But that is how it all began. Little did I realize that that stupid video that I made when I was bored that one day was going to get me 1 billion views and start my big YouTube thing. Well, maybe not started, but it's, to date, the most popular thing that I've ever made on the channel. I don't know why, but that's where we are.
Lil help?
I don't even remember how we managed to do that. All I do know is that was the start of the TF2 references, or TF2 voice clips, and it was funny enough for me to want to get a recording of that.
Each and every one of you will be sent home to your mama in a box! Do not look at me! I did not ask you a question! You are the sorriest excuses for soldiers I have ever seen! Damn it!
Man, we left skating for money in the dust there, didn't we? Maybe because he knew just how unfunny this skit really was. I could honestly edit it right here, right now if I wanted to, just to improve the one major problem with that skit that I have, which is just pacing. And that's going to become a really big thing once we get to Random Insanity 2, because I remember there being a lot of problems with pacing in that video, and this is just one of the reasons why I don't think that much of this video anymore.
You are so small! It's funny to me!
Now, why did I think that clip was funny at the time? Still trying to figure that out, honestly. I think he realized what I was trying to do when I was pushing behind him, and he just decided to activate the sleep tool, and everything worked as planned. Maybe not as planned, but I liked how it turned out, so I left it in. That was actually the first time I realized not all the trees were planted on the ground properly.
Maggot!
Yeah, I'm with Z-Man on this one. It honestly would have been faster to go around the mountain instead of through the mine and wait for me to just slowly make my way up there with my potato PC. Thanks a lot, Captain Obvious. That last bit wasn't actually part of the script. Not like I actually had a script in the first place, but it wasn't planned. Once again, thought it was funny, threw it in. Oh hey, it's still not funny.
All of you are babies!
I think reading the chat is funnier than what I was attempting on this one.
You! Yes, you! You are spy!
That low humming is in the background because I actually got that in-game, and not even my own game because that came from, another video. I was very low budget back then. Yeah, I think you get the point. Oh my god, how obvious could... I don't know if I meant that to be obvious on purpose with him just hiding behind the sign like that, but it's more laughable because of how awful a hiding spot is more than anything else. Oh yeah, I guess that was that was a skit, I guess. I should have reshot this skit. I should have told Skating for money to get out of the shot because his clothes hadn't rendered, resulting in... Moving on.
Gentlemen, shall we?
Oh hey look, I'm recycling footage with the same punchline. Aren't I original? I like to see that as me just killing that joke because it wasn't even that funny, to be honest. It's the only way I can make this skit actually funny.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You failed.
Ah, this is bad! Ah!
Hey, 2009 called. It wants its sense of humor back. Credit where it's due to Z-Man and Skating for Money. They actually did a pretty good job of following my instructions back then. Pretty much all the skits played out just as I wanted them to, or even better than I wanted to, with just a little bit of improv thrown in. So, props to them. On the whole, I'm happy that people got entertainment out of this video, but I don't know why people like it so much, to be perfectly honest. It's just... I've made better than this, surely. Surely, some of my other videos are more deserving of this many views, but that's just what people liked back then, I guess. Just that kind of thing with, like, laser collection, stick figures on crack, Asdf movie. That was just people's sense of humor. So if nothing else, this is just a testament to how my sense of humor has developed since then. And it certainly hasn't really improved that much with Random Insanity 2, as we'll see. Okay, someone please enlighten me. Is this just what people found funny back then? God, YouTube had low standards.
I need some help!
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh, that's right. That's why I didn't like this video. The jokes that could have worked didn't because they were too slow, and the ones that were reasonably paced were shit. And even some of the shit jokes were too slow, so that's a double whammy.
What are you looking at?
I literally cut 3 seconds of that skit from this video because I was getting so bored of looking at it. It's just way too slow, and again, that's just the theme for this whole video. Slow pace, and that really kills a joke.
Ah! Help me!
Best I can tell, those cameras were supposed to be attached to hinges, and they were scripted to follow, like physically follow whoever was closest to them, to make it look like a camera was watching you. But when they broke off of their hinges, they would just follow you wherever you go and pretty much try to attach to you, whoever was the nearest person, which resulted in what you saw in that skit. And again, I cut about half of it because it was just a long, slow, tedious joke that could have worked had I paced it better.
Need a dispenser here! Need a dispenser here!
There's your goddamn dispenser, now let's cut it out with these fucking memes, yeah?
Pills! Hacks!
I said cut it out with the memes, not add more dated ones, holy shit. What was I thinking back then exactly? I guess because I thought that kind of thing was funny back then, because, believe it or not, there was a time when I actually thought memes were funny. I was hilarious back then.
Need some help here?
Sorry, Xiao. No help for you. Random Insanity 3 ain't coming for another 11 months. Okay. Okay. That one got me. The janky physics of the plane, the screaming scout, the... Okay, this is probably the only skit in this video that I like so far, I admit.
Bullshit.
I guess I censored profanity in this video, the same reasons that I censored any sense of comedy in this video. I'll get back to you once I figure out why.
Spy around here! Spy! Bloody spy!
Right behind you.
Hey look, I actually improved this skit by cutting out a lot of the dead time that didn't need to be there.
Good thing I'm indestructible.
Not only did I do this gag better with the plane skit, and the end line of good thing I'm indestructible didn't even need to be there, to be perfectly honest, but I didn't even realize when I made this video that I would revisit this gag in Random Insanity 3 and do it a lot better.
What makes me a good demo man? If I were a bad demo man, I wouldn't be sitting here discussing it.
I don't know why, but I kind of have a soft spot for this one too.
You big-head wanker!
So let's review here. Bullshit is too profane. Son of a bitch is too profane. Wanker? Yeah, that's fine. Back when this video first came out, I had showed it to a community that I was a part of that doesn't exist anymore, and one guy said that the video wasn't really that funny, and that this was the only part where he even got a chuckle or anything of the sort. And even then, I feel like I could have done this better. Once again, it suffers from the problem of having too much dead time, not really a good enough payout. Like, it's kind of funny. It is a little bit funny, but I feel like I could have done a better job with this three-parter. I think it was 3 parts, right? Yeah, it was 3 parts. But that's a really good way to sum up the whole thing, to be perfectly honest. I had to cut so many skits because there just wasn't anything to comment on. You can only say, that's not really that funny so many times before you get bored of it. But the other skits I cut because they're just drag on too long, they're not funny enough. And that's just how it all went with that video. The skits that could have been good were poorly paced, and the skits that had decent pacing, if they even had that, weren't even that funny in the first place. So, Random Insanity 2, I think, is the weakest entry in the series. But enough of this negativity bullshit, because now we're moving on to Random Insanity 3.
Aw, crap.
Finally, I figured out how to make my own static effect with Sony Vegas. It took me a couple years, but I finally did it.
Hooga saka, hooga saka, hoo!
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit!
I hope Ross Scott got some new fans after this video went live. I really hope he got more people watching Freeman's Mind and staying with his channel in general, because they saw Roblox Random Insanity 3 and saw that second skit. You might also notice that this is the start of me using purpose-built sets a little bit more often instead of just going to places that already exist and just doing whatever in those. Because sets let me be a little more flexible with the comedy, which is obviously a thing that I want, but at the same time, you'll still see plenty of going to places that already exist, and not just places that I made, because the setting of Random Insanity 1, that was my place on alt account, the setting of Random Insanity 2 was somebody else's place, and the Two Fort place, which was actually built by Jedi Knight 123, and then scripted by yours truly, for the most part, I think. Either way, a little bit of fun facts for you. Also, I love the conspicuous artificiality of the elevator set for this skit. It's just something about film sets and things like that that I just find charming as all hell. I don't know what.
now!
To this day, I can't begin to tell you how many times people have played the quick draw heavy game improperly. You're supposed to wait for him to draw his gun before you draw yours. Like, on the 3, you draw your gun and shoot. But so many people draw their gun early and they die because that's not how the game is supposed to work. Also to this day, I don't recall anyone ever actually beating the quick draw heavy, but I remember telling people that if you beat the quick draw heavy in the Dry Bones arcade, then you get, I think it was like 1 million or 1 billion tickets. I don't remember what I said, but to this day, no one has ever beaten him.
Please proceed to the chamber lock. Mind the gap.
I got a little better at pacing my jokes, can't you tell?
Enemy spotted. Team, fall back. Get in position and wait.
I actually can't remember whether this was a purpose-built set or a version of Dust 2 that someone made, but I do know that the op, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have any scripting in it, I don't think, and if it did have any scripting, it was just to make me explode within a particular time frame.
There can be only one!
That is an old Roblox place. I can't even remember whether I visited the place itself or if I have a copy of it saved on my hard drive somewhere, but that place is old.
This sucks!
Speaking of old, remember when the pizza place looked like that instead of what it looks like today? Oh yeah, I still have to review that soon, don't I? I don't think I even staged that. I think that was just me being bad at sword fighting.
If you order now, I'll throw in a second beating, absolutely free.
You think a dude gets kickbacks from Mountain Dew over using their brand in his game?
No!
I was prepared for a barrage of comments from people telling me that's not how you're supposed to play the bowling place. And I would have told those people, that's the joke. Fortunately, I don't remember anyone really calling that out on me, so it all worked out in the end.
Sorry, man. Shit happens.
Here you can see me taking a joke from Random Insanity 2, copying it, doing it better, and now here I am wondering why I didn't just do it properly in the first place.
I hate walking. I hate vans. I hate stairs.
This is legitimately one of my favorite jokes that I've ever done in Roblox Random Insanity. It's just the perfectly executed 3-part joke. It's got good build-up, it averts expectations in the end in a way that nobody was expecting. That's why it averts expectations. Hello, dumbass. And instead of just stealing footage from somewhere else, I went into Left 4 Dead and took a screenshot. And then I edited in the caption at the top, because you hate stairs. One of my Twitch subscribers, Mick Yeager, said that that joke floored him as a kid, and he still loves it to this day. And knowing that my videos entertain people that much is honestly more humbling than you could ever know. I really appreciate that I was able to make someone laugh that hard. It just makes this whole thing worthwhile for me. Sure, I may not be getting that much in the way of money from anything that I do, but honestly, that kind of reaction is the kind of thing money can't buy.
Oh hey! You suck! You knuckleheads ain't even worth the effort. Hey knucklehead, you ain't good.
Another oldie but a goldie as far as places go, and another instance of me getting my ass handed to me fair and square in the end.
Shit! God damn it! Crap! Bullshit! Damn it!
You can't deny the appeal of a little bit of catharsis factor in your comedy, and the falling down stairs place back in those days was the perfect thing for this kind of skit.
You appear to have trodden on a mine.
Cool.
That NPC's name was supposed to be Captain Dipshit, but with Roblox's censor being what it is, I had to kind of work around it a little bit. Just nobody tell Roblox.
Should I leave some for you, Griggs, huh? Come on, let's go!
I'm coming! I got 10.
Yeah, well, we all got 10. There's hundreds of them.
Griggs and Sheckley from Half-Life 2 Episode 2 were one of my favorite things about that game, along with the gameplay section that they were a part of, so I wanted to do a little homage to them.
Any contact with the chamber floor will result in an unsatisfactory mark on your official testing record. Followed by death.
Just ignore the fact that Skaz was able to actually touch the goo without dying. But, you know, Roblox being what it is, touch scripts are on the wonky side back then. Freehaven Gorge is a project that spawned out of the Dry Bones arcade, which spawned out of another project, which is a Trouble in Terrorist Town remake. And nothing ever came of it because by the time I wanted to get back into developing it, I'd already lost too much interest in Roblox anyway, and now I can't be bothered to go back in and develop it anymore. Maybe someday, but I'm not really making any promises. Although, I do have some Roblox-related plans. And you will see news on that soon enough. Probably.
Bullshit.
You failed.
That was the first time I died.
If you haven't already seen XiaoXiaoMan's video, Tea Time with Dr. Breen, I highly recommend it. That's where I got that bit of audio from.
Each and every one of you is a spy.
It's common knowledge that accusing someone of being a spy brings out that spy checker pyro in all of us.
Boomer! Cut!
All I'm doing in this one is pulling out a tool with an invisible handle and then clicking. Because when I click, that would set off the script to make the guest or figure or whatever you want to call it explode. A simple, yet effective skit.
This is a gravity gun my father was talking about.
This sucks!
I don't even know why I included this skit. There's no real punchline to it. The whole joke of it is, hey, look at the gravity gun from Roblox. It's a lot like the gravity gun in Half-Life 2 in terms of how it looks, but how it behaves, it's completely different, cause it does this, even though it's trying to rip off the thing. Why did I think this would be a good skit? If I could go back and change Random Insanity 3 in any way, literally the only thing I would do would be deleting that skit.
Freaking unbelievable!
And I was so close to the end.
Who are you? What is that? Oh, what's that? What's that? What is that? Oh, that thing has numbers on it.
Ah yes, probably the most quoted skit in the comments of the video. The reason the Curious Noob is so blue with his outfit is because he was on a green screen, and obviously, if you're gonna have green clothes and a green screen, that's not gonna show up. But the chroma keying also made the blue more intense than it should have been, but not like it mattered, because everyone laughed in the end. So I managed to get a funny skit, and do a little homage to, Roblox God of War.
Pills! Grabbing pills.
For those keeping track, that is the second time that I've ripped audio and joke inspiration from Tea Time with Dr. Breen. Seriously, go watch that video, it's freaking hilarious. Have you figured out that I really like XiaoXiaoMan's work? Rest his soul.
Darn.
Man, even the bot in that place decided, you know what? It's time to put this overused joke to rest.
I think we misunderestimated!
Misunderestimated remains one of my favorite made-up words that I will sometimes use myself for comedy purposes. To this day, I still consider Roblox Random Insanity 3 to be the best of the series. It's got the best jokes, the best pacing overall, it doesn't have the slow bullshit of the last two videos. It's just a good all-around video, and it still holds up pretty well to this day, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm still really proud of it. If I got rid of the gravity gun skit, then that would mean this video would be pretty much perfect. And so, it's time to move on to Roblox Random Insanity 4.
Brave jump!
I think this first skit sets the tone for the rest of the video as far as what to expect. the editing and the production value has gone up a bit since the last installment, but I don't think a lot of the jokes worked out quite as well this time around.
Sector clear. Storm the front. Oh, man.
I was really afraid that little green exclamation point above my head in the far off shot wasn't gonna render in the final cut, but it worked. Somehow. But I distinctly remember back in the day that I could barely even see it. You can see it if you look closely enough, if you've got the right resolution. 4K should be no problem, I think, even though the video was filmed in 720p. But still, it worked.
Perfect. Kill me later.
Aha, meet the medic. Funny video. This skit hasn't aged well.
I can't believe I'm finally here on the moon. I can't wait to learn all about space.
Space.
Where is everybody?
Two dated memes for the price of one, including the Space Corps, and paying homage to Moonbase Alpha provides a realistic stimulation of life on a natural satellite. That doesn't date this video at all, does it? Good God. I really regret adding this skit. I thought it would be a funny idea at the time, and at the time, it was. But in this day and age, when you watch it, it just makes you cringe. It sure as hell makes me cringe.
I ever tell you about the time my buddy Keith drove his car off a cliff, broke both his legs? Hey, it's not a funny ha-ha story.
Not Ellis's stories, though. Ellis's stories are timeless.
There's bullshit on the left, there's bullshit on the right, there's bullshit above, there's bullshit below, bullshit all over the place.
I remember Marvin E. Quadsnicki from back in the days of the 2012 elections, and honestly, we could use a politician like him. He may be a muppet, but he's all about no bullshit. That is my kind of guy.
I am heavy weapons guy.
I am a robot from the future.
I guess this was funny at the time, but I feel like this is just me not learning from what made Random Insanity 3 so good.
Where's I going with this?
You were going where all jokes go to die.
We gotta run the coaster?
Oh my God, it's Christmas!
I just wanted to add more Ellis skits at the time, because Ellis is funny. I just wish this video could have been funnier.
Screw gravity!
Where we're going, we don't need humor. Am I right?
John Madden. John Madden. John Madden.
It really is an achievement in how not funny some of these skits are.
I'ma fly down these hills.
Yeah, I guess I was still banking on that Ellis card, huh?
Reloading!
Shoot me again! Shoot me again, I dare you! Sure!
That's the best skit in the video, I think. And it was a pain in the ass trying to get it working, because it took multiple takes between me, XiaoXiaoMan, and SharpTH, who was off-screen with the rocket launcher. And, to be honest, maybe I should have had SharpTH on frame instead of XiaoXiaoMan, but is what it is, and he still had a doofy enough looking character to make it work out in the end. So, what I did was, I had XiaoXiaoMan get shot, and he would turn around to face SharpTH, who would still be off-screen. And I wanted him to do a quick flick, like, boom! And what he did instead was he must have been in first-person mode or something, because his Robloxian just slowly did this robotic rotation, which I needed it to be faster, and no matter how many times I told him to do that, it just couldn't get it to work properly. So what I did was I had to edit it in post and make it look like he was turning faster than he actually was. And then there was the case of actually shooting him, which served to be a problem in and of itself, because it took multiple tries. Either the rocket would hit something that it wasn't supposed to hit, or I would get tripped up on the bullets, because, like, the M4A1 model had actual physical bullet shells it was firing out, and I would trip on them because physics. And at one point, you can even see in the outtakes at the end of the video proper that is, was SharpTH actually somehow managed to blow himself up. That's quite the accomplishment. One more for old time's sake, right? And for those who didn't know already, and I'm sure plenty of people already knew, no, that's not JJ's actual voice. That was Stephen Merchant doing the voice of Wheatley from Portal 2. Vegas glitching up during the render still pisses me off to this day. But it made for a kinda cool effect, I guess.
Third-degree burns over 90% of his body. His doctor...
I would love to meet Ellis so I could hear the stories in full so he doesn't have to keep getting interrupted by Coach Nick or Rochelle.
Question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point.
Get out! I got a bomb!
A bomb's a bad choice for close-range combat.
Crap.
What a shame.
I still like that one for the absurdity of it all, as well as the juxtaposition of J.C. Denton's deadpan delivery and this ridiculous setup he's got going on with the explosion affecting everything except him. What a shame.
Oh, come on! This isn't fair! Oh, this is just perfect! Oh, this is ridiculous! What are we doing? What are we doing? Well, I jumped. Hey, hold on. Whoa! No!
This clip served as the end of a break that I took for recording Random Insanity 4 footage because I still needed ideas for getting the video to the 3 or 4 minute mark. And this one just happened to happen while I was showing a friend around the place, Millennium Run. Actually, no, that was XXM Circuit, which became the first race in the brutally unfair Millennium Run. And I just decided this could be good enough to put in there with a little stupid music. I'm almost surprised that I decided to take yakety sax again. But I figured that would be a good skit to put in there and put some defective turret from Portal 2 audio over it, and there we have it.
Shit! No! Damn.
If nothing else, Roblox has a really good destruction engine to it for breaking things apart. There's just something cathartic about seeing something Lego-esque just falling apart like that. And that's another old place of mine that I can't remember the name of it. All I know is that it was you just ride around on the ship and you hope to hell that you manage to survive all the bullshit that gets thrown at you. It was weird.
I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me.
Refresh my memory. Is he gone this time? Like, for real? I know I joked about in Roblox Fun Facts that one time, but is he just, like, gone legitimately for good, never coming back again? Because that'd be nice. Oh, come on, at least humor me and crop those 9s a little bit better next time. It's already a bad enough skit as it is.
X gon' give it to you. You to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock.
This one was inspired by that SFM short Save as DMX, because I'm pretty sure that's what the source filmmaker files save as when you save them as a movie or something. So I figured, why not do my own little rendition? And then I gave it its own video for some reason or another. And it's got good production value, it's got some good staging to it. And that's about it, though. I don't think it's really that... I don't know why I decided it needed to be a thing, but I think I was just scraping the bottom of the barrel at that point, and I needed anything to get this video to where I needed it to be. That or I just thought it was really funny at the time. I don't know.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
A bomb's a bad choice.
You know, if the rest of the skits in the video were as half-decent as this one, maybe it would have made for a pretty good video. As it stands, though, this is, again, one of the few good skits that are in the video, and even then it's not amazing by any stretch of the word. So, in short, and you probably guessed it by now, but I am not the biggest fan of this video. It could have been a lot better, but the production value was pretty good. And that's about the only good thing it's got going for it. The jokes were just not really there. They weren't really funny enough. The pacing was fine. I at least learned my lesson for that one. But the jokes just weren't as good as Random Insanity 3. So, if nothing else, I think this video is a testament to the fact that when I was making this video, I was running really low on Steam. I just could not figure out a good way to make good jokes anymore at the time, and I just didn't have that magic anymore, I guess. I can still make funny stuff, but I don't think I really want to do any more Random Insanity. I think it's best just, as much as I probably could make another good one in this day and age, now that my sense of humor has developed and I've gotten better at making videos and doing comedy, I feel like it's best to just leave it where it is, let it be, and move on with other things. Especially since, again, I don't want to be a totally Roblox-oriented channel anymore. I want to branch out to do other things. I've been doing a lot of other games on my Twitch channel, in fact. I've been trying to curry favor with people to get subscriptions on Twitch and getting donations and things like that. And I might as well mention the Patreon while I'm at it, because why not? Apparently this is just where it's going for some reason as I ramble on here. But that's how things stand. That is Roblox Random Insanity as a series. If you have any further questions or something that I didn't address before, or if you have a preference for what you want the next retrospective to be about, let me know in the comments. Or you can join my Discord server, which will be linked on screen and down below in the description. Not to mention, I do Twitch streams on pretty much a weekly basis. So those are worth tuning into. I hope you found this video moderately entertaining, interesting, and all that good stuff. Thank you for tuning in, thank you for sticking with me, thank you for your support, thank you for your patience, just thank you. Thank you so much for putting up with me. I may not do YouTube as much as I used to, but I sure as hell will be doing Twitch a fair bit. Hope to see you there.